Planning to go on vacation or even relocate to Finland? Here are 15 shocking things about the place that will make you fast-track your visa process and get there as early as possible. Let's go. 1. English proficiency and 100% literacy rate. While Finnish is the primary language, Swedish is also an official language in Finland, reflecting the country's historical ties to Sweden. This bilingualism adds another layer of cultural richness to Finland's identity. However, the problem is that foreigners usually find Finnish particularly difficult to learn. But the good news is that Finns are proficient in English, making it unnecessary for visitors or new residents to learn Finnish. Basically, Finland is renowned for its high literacy rates and academic achievements. Additionally, as far as communicating goes, foreigners would also appreciate the fact that Finns value clear and concise communication and often find small talk unnecessary. Lastly, in Finnish culture, silence can be a form of communication, conveying respect and thoughtfulness. Finns may not like to talk much, but they never shy away from indulging in some crazy competition. 2. Finland holds some of the weirdest competitions. Whenever you're lucky to be in Finland, check your calendar. There might be just a weird competition you may find interesting. For example, the Wife Carrying World Championship is usually held between July 4th and 5th in Sonkajärvi, Finland. In the tournament, participants carry their wives through an obstacle course, and the winner's prize is the wife's weight in beer. There's also a chili eating championship during the Naga festival, and just like the name, the participants compete by eating the hottest peppers. Good luck. You might also find the mobile phone throwing championship interesting.
Eeri Karjalainen saw him take top spot at the event.
Other quirky competitions in Finland include the Air Guitar World Championship, Boot Throwing World Championship, Milking Stool Throwing Championship, Ant Nest Sitting Competition, and Swamp Soccer World Championship. But if weird competitions are not your thing, the beauty of nature in Finland will surely make you fall in love. 3. Picturesque Finland. You can't walk for 5 minutes in Finland without wanting to stop and take a picture of the beautiful landscape. That's because Finland looks like Mother Nature's bedroom. From the lush green pine forests of Kodi Park and Repovesi National Park to bodies of water sitting beautifully between the patches of rock formations and vegetation. So, if you ever find yourself in Finland, make sure your phone battery is charged and you have a lot of storage. But along with large phone space, ensure you have a big appetite, because Finland tastes as good as it looks. 4. The interesting Finnish dishes. Finland's cuisine, much like its landscape, is a delightful blend of simplicity and sophistication. While you might not find the same culinary diversity as in larger countries, the Finnish dishes are undeniably unique and satisfying. One of Finland's most iconic treats is salmiakki, a licorice-flavored candy that's not for the faint of heart. With its distinct salty and sweet taste, salmiakki is a polarizing delicacy that's meant to be so far from conventionally sweet that it's provocatively enjoyable. Another Finnish speciality is Karelian pastries, which consist of a thin, crispy crust filled with savory rice porridge. There are also popular dishes such as reindeer stew and salmon soup. But if you think the Finns don't joke about their dishes, you haven't heard about their holidays. These people will look for the slightest excuse not to go to work on a Monday. 5. Quirky Holidays. New Year's Day, Easter, Pentecost and Independence are all understandable, but Sleepy Head Day on the 27th of July, National Day of Failure on October the 13th, with a holiday to celebrate underachievers and discourage sleeping in, you'd think that a toddler was once president of this nation. National Sleepy Head Day ties into a medieval belief that has lived up until modern times, and National Day of Failure is a way to create optimism and uplift those who feel behind in their careers and lives. The way I see it, to the Finnish, little things do matter. But let's talk about something larger, like the lakes in Finland. 6. There are 187,888 lakes in Finland. Finland is also known as the land of 1,000 lakes, and for good reason. Making up roughly 10% of the country's total area, there are 187,888 lakes in the country. There aren't even that many train stations in the entire European continent. With that many lakes, fishing and swimming are common as a walk in the park, even when it's very cold. Just don't go swimming in Lake Päijänne, because that's where most of the country's drinking water comes from. Anyway, here's something about Finland you probably didn't know about. 7. Santa Claus lives in Finnish Lapland. Santa Claus Village, located in Rovaniemi, Finland, is a festive destination on the Arctic Circle, known as the official hometown of Santa Claus. Visitors can meet Santa himself, send letters from Santa's official post office, and enjoy a variety of Christmas-themed activities. The village also offers sleigh rides, reindeer encounters, and the chance to see the magical northern lights during the winter months. Open year-round, Santa Claus Village is a charming, family-friendly place that brings the holiday spirit to life and attracts guests from around the world who want to experience a winter wonderland and the magic of Christmas. But if you're going to be visiting Santa Village or Finland in general, don't bother keeping your quarters and make sure you carry your phone with you because there are no payphones in Finland. 8. There are no public payphones in Finland. Yup, the red box that's become a staple of pop culture doesn't exist in the Nordic nation. They once did though, but over 2 decades ago. And it's not because Finnish people hate using the phone. As a matter of fact, they love using phones, just their mobile phones. But in place of payphones, you'll never believe what the most common convenience in Finland is. 9. There are 3 million saunas in Finland. That would be saunas. Yup. A warm, humid room in Finland is as common as a barbecue grill in the southern US. To be fair, saunas were invented in Finland, and you can't say you've been to Finland without being in one. But even if you don't think it's your thing, the cold weather will compel you. Here's the craziest part though. You see, with 3 million saunas in the country, the entire population can use a sauna without sharing it with more than one person. But some people just prefer to kill their cold with something else. 10. Finns are the world's biggest coffee drinkers. Finland is so cold that the Finns never pass on the opportunity to stay somewhere warm or get their hands on something warm. So, a cup of coffee is never far from the Finns. On average, a Finnish person would have drank almost 9 kilos of coffee in the course of a year. No nationality drinks more coffee than the Finnish, so the likes of Starbucks are making some real Starbucks in this part of the world. Coffee is more than just a hot drink to kickstart your day in Finland. Workers' unions could go on strike over coffee breaks being removed. But one profession in Finland that may not need as much coffee is the police force, because there's barely any policing to do. 11. Finland is the safest country. If you choose to live in Finland, chances are you'll never even have to dial 112, which is the Finnish equivalent of 911. And that's because you're more likely to come across a man training for a wife-carrying competition than witness a homicide. In 2023, only 57 homicides were reported in the entire country. That's over 3 times less than the state of Minnesota, which has roughly the same population size as the Nordic country. Finnish usually go to jail for minor things such as running stop signs and driving without a seatbelt. That's right, over a third of all crimes in Finland are minor traffic infractions. But you'll never believe why the Finnish find it hard not to violate traffic laws. 12. When driving in Finland, you must keep your headlights on at all times. That's because it's illegal to turn off your headlights in Finland. Yup, you heard that right. If your headlights aren't on in the afternoon, you can get stopped by the police, and the reason for this makes a lot of sense. Finland's weather isn't the most driver-friendly weather you can find yourself in. Annual average temperatures in Finland never exceed 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and during winter, temperatures reach sub-zero in some parts of Finland. So the fog makes visibility a luxury and headlights a necessity, because driving without them on could get you in a pretty terrible car wreck. But flying out of Finland isn't as much of a hassle as driving in the country. 13. A Finnish passport is one of the world's best with which to travel. With a Finnish passport, you don't need a visa to travel to 191 countries. That's insane because there are 195 countries in the world. Their passport is this powerful because Finnish people are bad at committing crimes. Hence, nobody has to worry about a Finnish national causing trouble in their country. And did I mention that they're rich? With a GDP per capita of $59,000, they have plenty of money to spend where they travel to. But if you're planning on entering Finland anytime soon, Duolingo lessons before you travel might prove handy. 14. The weird Finnish logic. If you think you're social and you're going to make a lot of friends with the locals from the get-go, think again. Because the social norms of the Finnish culture follow a weird logic that makes it very different from many popular cultures. For starters, chit-chat is more of a way to get on somebody's nerves instead of getting to know them better. Finns also don't like to fuss too much, whether about bad weather or anything else. The only real place where small talk can be tolerated is in a sauna. But finally, 15. In northern Finland, the sun shines all day and all night throughout June and July. From the middle of May until mid-August, the sun does not set in Lapland, making the title Land of the Midnight Sun a reality rather than just a myth. But before you think that this is the work of sorcerers or enchanters, there's a scientific explanation for this. Because the Earth's axis is tilted at 23.5 degrees during summer, regions above the Arctic Circle face the sun throughout the Earth's rotation during that period of the year. Hence, the sun never sets. Now, if you've been to Finland, what shocked you the most? And if you're planning on going, what are you most looking forward to? Let us know in the comment section down below.